is up, everyone? You hear that ding that Justin's phone did?
Yes.
That means it's time for Ruckus Wrestling. I am Josh, alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin. We're 3 weeks away from WrestleMania.
Yeah, hard to believe, right?
Right. Just when we thought we were talking about Cody and John Cena getting ready to disappoint the shit out of us, we've got another one coming around. Yeah, so obviously I put the title out there. Is this WrestleMania build? It feels like they're rushing, but also building. I don't know. It's a weird thing that they're doing. So far, I'm underwhelmed. I think just because it was so perfect of WrestleMania 40 that we're still trying to get to that when it was perfect.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's so much pivoting this year compared to years past because of injuries and stuff like that. But also with the pivot, they don't know what else to do with some other superstars that they've been building this whole year. And I think that's where and plus mixed up with creative, with SmackDown, obviously Road Dogg being gone, all these type of things. I think they're trying to juggle many things and forgot that WrestleMania is right around the corner. And I am very underwhelmed with this build. Is it the worst? I don't know. I started paying attention to WrestleMania 12, 13, maybe. Obviously, it's nothing like that video package of X7, but Justin?
Yeah.
Not the worst, but we kind of talked off air before we went live. Not the great, definitely bottom tier as far as WrestleMania builds.
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag. There are some matches that have had great builds so far and ones that have not had great builds so far. The one that's had the best build, obviously, by far, we've talked about before, is Roman Punk. Had a little bit of misstep last week, but I think this week they rebounded. I think we'll talk about that with Raw. Yep. I like where the build has been. I like how it's gotten personal. It's gotten ugly. They don't like each other. It's all good. Randy and Cody's heading in that direction after what Randy did to him and then what happened this past week. It took a bit, but I think Liv Stephanie is starting to cook after what happened on Raw this week. I like where that's going. And AJ Becky, that's got a lot of history behind it already, so don't need to do too much more for that. The one that's had the weakest build so far has been Rhea and Jade, and that's a lot of that's on Jade.
Yeah, obviously my favorite. I mean, I guess it's a lot better as you kind of talk about it. I don't know. It just because I knew we were going to get better.
There's a lack of some overall excitement,
right? But I mean, Oba Brock has been great. It's probably outside of
Oba Brock has also started off pretty good. So
we'll get into it here on SmackDown. They are trying their hardest, and shout out to Jacob and Drew to make that work. So because Drew. This is more on what Drew is. You gave Drew Damian Priest, and he ran with it. Every feud that Drew has had, doesn't matter if it's for the title with Cody, even though they extended that way too long than they needed to. After 3 stages of hell, that should have been it, but they kept having Drew attack Cody the whole time. I don't know. But everything that Drew has done since the CM Punk feud, he has bat 1,000 on making the most out of it. Even when we don't like it. And obviously we're big fans of Jacob Fatu here. We knew that, put those two together, magic will work. And so far it's just you don't need to talk. Those two just need to just beat the shit out of each other and it's going to work. And that's what they're doing so far. But maybe it is just because we still don't know. The tag division is non-existent on the men's side. The women, other than Stephanie and Liv finally caught fire this week, but other than that, we've had this match for forever, and they still it reminds me more of the Jay Gunther feud of just get to the point.
Yeah.
And they finally did something at least on Raw this week that we'll get to that at least I enjoyed. But how many weeks have they been doing vignettes and stuff and we just haven't cared? And I mean, we're getting to the tag team stuff with the women. We're trying to do like the EO Kabuki Warrior stuff. Like we're trying to do that, but that all has to do with the fact that they pivoted away from having to put Rhea against Jade because there was no one else there. We're trying to do something with Tiffany Julia. Hell, that might not even make the WrestleMania card.
I think it will.
I hope it does because I think this is finally put Julia on that WrestleMania stage with Tiffany and see what happens.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think that will be the coming out party for Julia. So that's why I'm saying I hope
the rumor said that they plan on it being on WrestleMania. Yeah. So
I understand you have to do a celebrity spot, but the Jelly Roll stuff, I just don't care. But it's not for me. I don't think it's for you. Those type of things. Sometimes, I mean, obviously, sometimes they surprise us. The Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn is a classic.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny stuff has been great when he's actually appeared. Jelly Roll, he's given it all. He's all in. So I will give him that. But he's not as skilled as like a Logan Paul before he became an actual like main card like wrestler. And Bad Bunny took it easily. They've tried it with Travis Scott. Obviously, that was a miserable failure. So sometimes celebrities work. At least Jelly Roll is giving it his all, but it's more, and he'll do everything he possibly can, but he's very lacking. And so you have to do a lot of things around him, whereas you really don't have to do much with, Logan or Bad Bunny. Or even, I still don't know how Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn to me was so entertaining. But maybe it's just nostalgia, the member berries of the Jackass people. And shout out to Sami.
The way it was booked, definitely helped.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying? Like to me right now, this build is like a C-. It really is.
It's been average. Yeah.
On that. So, but obviously we'll get into all of that. Any more finishing things about this WrestleMania build so far?
No.
Okay. Obviously, we'll try and do our WrestleMania preview show. We just try and basically the whole show is dedicated to the actual WrestleMania card. We'll try and get some other guests on here to go over the card with us. So tune in for that, obviously, the Thursday prior to WrestleMania weekend. So we don't have very much time to go on that. But yes, so for that week, it's always that show's a different show for us. But we always look forward to it. Another thing we look forward to is the Hall of Fame. And Justin, we've got 3 more inductees in the Hall of Fame. Dennis Rodman as a celebrity. Psycho Sid technically is one of the legends, but if he, I believe, like we were talking about off air, if he was still around with us today, I think he would just go in just to go in.
Yeah, he wouldn't be recommended.
He wouldn't be a legacy. And then they announced, I know you told me, they just announced it today. Who was the last one?
Bad News Brown.
Bad News Brown. And can you give a little history on Bad News Brown for us? Obviously, Psycho Sid. I enjoyed him. He was the perfect type of wrestler as like, oh my gosh, the monster that he was, even though he was very lacking in the ring. His basically charisma and presence, he couldn't cut a promo to save his life half the time. He would stumble through his words. He is very infamous about that. But he had a great look. He did for the main event stuff. He was definitely good for the time. Obviously, still known as that gruesome leg injury. Obviously, he did come back for a nice little thing where they had all the legends would come back. So he was able to come back on Raw to do that. Dennis Rodman, he actually had some wrestling matches like outside of just the NWO stuff, which was, I forgot about that and looked up some of those things. He actually had like 2 or 3 matches outside of it. But Dennis Rodman, that tag match with DDP and Karl Malone, it had a good build, but obviously it is what it was on that. So shout out to him. But as far as bad news, Justin, what you got for us?
Bad News Brown was born Alan Coach. Growing up, he got into martial arts and became a expert in judo, and eventually competed in the Olympics in judo. And at the 1976 Summer Olympics, he actually won the bronze medal in judo for the United States. He was the first African American to win a solo medal in a sport that wasn't boxing or track and field. So,
Okay.
He decided to retire from competitive judo and did various jobs until he got into pro wrestling. He ended up in Japan and actually got spent time in Antonio Inoki's dojo, one of the great legends of Japanese wrestling. Spent some time in New Japan. He also then spent some time in Stampede Wrestling up in Canada, run by the Hart family, Stu Hart. Then he got his big break and went to WWE in the mid 80s. He was there for a few years. One of his more well-known moments was he won a battle royal to open WrestleMania 4, where he memorably turned on Bret Hart and eliminated him, and Bret got pissed and ended up destroying the trophy in retaliation. He had some memorable feuds with Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake. His character was basically the prototype for Stone Cold.
Gotcha.
He was a loner. Even though he was a heel, he was a loner. He did not like working with other people. And he was just like the cool heel.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so he was definitely ahead of his time. He was very memorable, very entertaining wrestler. He left to WWE in 1990. He never got to hold any titles. It's unfortunate. Very memorable character. You know, a lot of people from my generation remember Bad News very fondly. He also had very cool finishing move. It was called the Ghetto Blaster, which is basically what you see nowadays as an enziguri, which was a kick to the back of the head. Gotcha. Not a lot of guys were using that move. I think he picked it up, probably when he was in New Japan. And so that was not a move you saw in American wrestling very often.
It's kind of like Aleister Black type of roundhouse kick type stuff?
No, it was right to the back of the head, not to the face.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, it just still was kind of that type of kick.
Yeah, it's that type of kick, but it was to the back of the head and not the front of the head.
Gotcha.
He would leap into the air and hit them in the back of the head.
Gotcha. Okay.
It looked very cool. And then he bounced around, worked for a lot of other promotions, eventually retired at the end of the 90s. And sadly passed away from a heart attack way back in 2007. And so for people from my era, it was really nice to see. He was a very memorable character. It's definitely, like I said, his heel character work was definitely ahead of its time. He would have fit in perfectly in the Attitude Era like a decade later.
That's what it sounds like.
So this was really cool news. Psycho Sid, it's going in. That should have happened long ago, and it's unfortunate that happened after he died, but I'm glad it's happening. Hopefully his family will be able to be there for that. He was really memorable, one of the coolest big men in wrestling. I lost track how many times he jumped back and forth between WCW and WWE, but even though he went back and forth a couple times, he even spent some time in the ECW for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was always very memorable, and also really popular with the fans too at various times. I mean, the pop from the MSG crowd when he beat Shawn Michaels for the WWE title at Survivor Series 96 is very memorable.
I remember that girl in the front row, as soon as he's about to do the 3 count, she's like, "No!" and just put her head down. So he was one of the few people who got to be both WWE and WCW heavyweight champion multiple times. Got to main event 2 WrestleManias, once against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 8, and then for the WWE title against Undertaker at WrestleMania 13. Sadly, his career came to a very tragic end when he, in a very ugly injury, broke his leg during a match. Scott Steiner.
against Dot Scatter, and it was very ugly. And that pretty much put an end to his career. He's also known for loving softball and spent time playing softball in between when he was working. Yeah, he said it's like he passed away. I think only like a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah, something like that. It's been very recent.
So he was great. He was promos could be very memorable, both good and bad. It's like I have half the brain that you do, but he was the master and ruler of the world. I always liked him, so I'm glad that he's going as well. Rodman's celebrity makes a lot of sense. Memorable, very memorable stuff working with the NWO and Hulk Hogan. Famously skipped a practice for the NBA Finals to partake in a wrestling match in WCW. So
yeah,
it made a lot of headlines at the time. I remember. So I was like, oh, that's cool. That makes a lot of sense to have Rodman go in. It's like, that was a good for celebrity induction. That was a good choice. So this, I have to say, this Hall of Fame class is pretty dope. We got AJ, we got Demolition, Sid, Bandage Brown. I'm very happy overall with this Hall of Fame class this year.
So does AJ start and Stephanie end, or the other way around?
I think they'll probably let AJ go last. I would think,
but it's Stephanie.
I don't think Stephanie wants to steal a spotlight from AJ.
I would hope not.
I could see Stephanie being like the opening one, and then probably have Demolition go after that. I think they'll save AJ for last because he's like the big one.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Other people so, I mean, after AJ, the next biggest induction is definitely Demolition, which fans have been wanting for ages. So, look forward to hearing their speeches and everything. So,
I don't know what fan has been waiting ages for Demolition to get in. I don't know.
It's not just me.
We'll send out a question. We'll put it in the link below. Hey guys, comment down below who you think has been waiting for Demolition. No, and obviously AJ Styles is one of my Mount Rushmore wrestlers of all time. So this is nice. This is very for this show. This is a solid Hall of Fame, especially for two of our favorites. Finally, well, obviously finally for AJ, but still, two of our favorites.
Yeah, AJ and Demolition are two of my favorites of all time. So really happy that they're both going in this year.
Yeah. Shout out to Iowa upsetting Nebraska. Got into the Sweet 16. I mean, Sweet 16. Sorry, Elite 8. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
So shout out to for side note for anyone out there, since we didn't have a rep sports wrap it up, so I'll just do a little history here. Iowa was coached by Fran McCaffrey for 17 seasons and never made it to the Sweet 16. This is the first year for Ben McCollum, and now he's in the Elite 8. Coaching happens, and NIL and transfer portal does have an effect. If you can get the right guy and the right people on your roster to buy in, you can too prevent forest fires. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is a Tony D or Bron Breakker. I forget which one was interviewed. I think it was Tony D. And when NXT 2.0 was happening, Justin, I don't know if you saw this. 2.0 was happening. Yes. Surprisingly, this is news to me. They were wanting to pair Bron and Tony D together. And they decided to scrap that the last minute and have Bron be Bron and Tony D start the Mafia gimmick. And really and truly, with the way Tony D's character is now, that would have made total sense at the time.
I think it worked out for both of them.
It did. In a sense, I mean, obviously, Tony D, with the character work that he did to get that Mafia gimmick, which was cheesy as hell at the start. Over. That was that 1980s cheesy. And then at the end with him and Oba, and it got more real. and more, and you understood it rather than the cheesy stuff that they were doing. And then Bron was just Bron. You understood why they put the rocket ship to him. But what Tony D is doing, I think, like you said, it worked out best for both of them. But I'm glad that Tony D is able to show this different side of character to make sure, because now people can buy him when he gets to the main roster. But it's not like Tony D hasn't been good either. So I didn't even know this was a thing. That would have been interesting to see them as a tag team, but I think that tag team would have been short-lived because you just couldn't resist what Bron was, and Tony D at the time was still figuring out who he was. But they both realized they had something in both of them for that. But I just didn't know your thoughts on that. And for once, NXT 2.0 made the right call on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, other news to try to think of, Chris Jericho trademarked something else. He pitched Shawn Michaels and him working with the Wyatts back in the day. I saw that. Any other news that you can think of?
Let's see. Trying to think. Word is that good news for both Bron and Bianca Belair that they're starting working on getting cleared to return to the ring. So I think we'll see probably. I have a feeling we may get Bron hopefully back in time for Mania, so he and Seth can have that one-on-one match. Bianca, hopefully maybe we'll see her back sometime after Mania if things go well. It sounds like the surgery to finally fix the issues with her finger seemed to have worked, and so she's back to training, word is. So that's good news. So that's shitty news for Santos Escobar, who came back and has been working in AAA. He tore his pec before that four-way number one contender match that was on AAA recently. He actually worked the match with the torn pec.
Oh,
wow. So he has to get surgery. He's going to be out for a couple months. So he was involved in some big angles there down in AAA. So that sucks. Don't know how Conan is doing. Hopefully he's doing well. With Ray still being on the shelf with the rib injury, he's been taking Conan's place on commentary for AAA alongside JBL and Corey Graves. So that's a smart move, especially because he easily translate like the Spanish when the wrestlers are speaking Spanish. He translates for the American audience without the need of subtitles, which is very handy. So.
Okay. Oh, speaking about other shitty news, Toni Storm.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't know why, but her being written out last week of the attack is that she's going to be out indefinitely and may not return to the ring for the rest of the year, is what the word is. All the sheets have been able to confirm is that it is not some kind of serious injury. So people are speculating if it's like if she's pregnant, her and Juice are going to have a baby or something. And that's why she's
that
out.
seems to be more of the case. Kind of like
that would be my guess.
Yeah.
But that's up for them to decide to announce. I mean, so that's like the biggest guess that everyone's having is why she is out if it's not an injury.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Hey, Kaden, welcome in.
Hello. Yes. Hopefully it's not something either that or some kind of illness. Hopefully it's not something serious. It's like, hopefully it's pregnancy, because that would be good news, for a good reason to be out. So if that's the case, I'm sure that something will be announced at some point if that's true. So we would just have to see. So it's sad that we're going to be missing time. It's only so I think this will accelerate probably Mercedes Moné's return, because it kind of needs that star power back in the division with Tony out for who knows how long.
She's putting over every woman in the indie circuit.
She's only down to 3 title belts. She's lost most of them. So In fact, she lost like 2 in one match. It was like a winner take all match. She lost like 2 title belts to one person. Hey, Giff. Again. So I think once she loses those other belts, she'll probably be popping up back on AEW TV as soon as possible.
Yeah. Selfishly, it sucks to not have Timeless, but congratulations if that is kind of what we're thinking. Is why she's out indefinitely. Put Athena on AEW. Yeah, you can do that.
Put Athena and Deonna Purrazzo should not be in ROH hell.
Right.
So,
but just I know Giff,
your boys the Rascals are already working ROH now. I'm sorry.
So anyway,
I forgot to mention that earlier.
I was trying not to talk about it. Okay? I was trying not to talk about it. And while they're in that situation, you don't have the Rascals and then have them do great matches with FTR and
nobody's watching hardly
anyone. And no one's watching ROH. Like I don't care. As far as Kate and Giff, obviously with the title, worst WrestleMania build. We talked about that earlier. Me and Justin right now just a little underwhelmed. And we're putting it as a C- at this point. But yeah, if let us know in the comments what you all think, what you all would grade it on that.
Which matches have had the better build? Which ones have had the shitty build? Yeah.
Right now, it's.
And we also talked about the Hall of Fame edition since last week. Rod Mid-Psycho said Bad News Brown today, so. I think that covers all the big news.
Yeah, I think it's ready. And for all you update, Purdue won on a last-second tip-in. So, Purdue won and Iowa won. So the Big Ten, who haven't won a national championship since 2000 with Michigan State, has 2 teams in Elite Eight, and they have 6 teams total. So let's see if they keep that trend going. There you go. But we're here to talk some more wrestling, so let's talk about SmackDown, shall we?
Yep.
Let's do that thing.
Yeah, let's get SmackDown over with.
So on Smack, I might switch the music around and have that be in Raw just because that's an Oba Femi style music. And Oba's on Raw. So if we switch it up, guys, that's just because Oba is on Raw and he deserves to have. Honestly, that's a better theme song at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, talking about SmackDown, the show opening chaos as Drew and Jacob were fighting each other after Drew crashed into his car or in Jacob's car. They made their way to the ring, pushing through the security that ended in Jacob putting Drew through the announce table. Truth and Priest won the tag titles. And in other news, the actual tag division had a really good match with the Motor City Machine Guns defeating Fraxium in that one.
With a little help from Candice LeRae.
A little help from Candice LeRae. But speaking of Candice LeRae, Dan Housen stole money from LeRae to remove the curse on Johnny and just walked away without uncursing him. Randy cut a promo on why he did what he did. Aleister Black defeated Sami Zayn. Jade Cargill has help now as Meechin and B-Fab join her to beat down Rhea Ripley. The Miz had a ladder almost fall on him from the curse. And then Carmelo Hayes defeated Ilya in a great match.
And a banger.
Kit Wilson did slam poetry on Jelly Roll. The Bella Twins and Nia and Lash ended in no contest when Charlotte and Alexa attacked. Orton buries Matt Cardona. And Jacob Fatu and McIntyre battle each other in the outside as they did throughout the whole show and fell off a scaffolding outside with them fighting to close out the show. I'll let you start.
Okay, I liked how the show started with the Jacob and Drew stuff. I like the intensity and the hate, especially throughout the show that led to them falling off onto a very obviously hidden crash pad from a very high height. I like the fact that it's like the car wreck and the ripping off of the windshield. I mean, I like it. I was feeling the hate and I was feeling the intensity. Ilya and Carmelo had another banger. It's like these two cannot have a bad match together. It's like
that finish, dude. That effing finish.
That finish was so
with
good.
With them hitting their two finishers and then Carmelo barely getting his foot up on the rope. Just well done.
Oh God, yeah.
Well done.
So I don't know where that leaves either of them for Mania, but we'll see. But just another fantastic match between two. I know some people. On the one hand, I like what they're doing with Randy, where he's giving into the voices and he's conflicted, but he's still giving into the voices and doing bad things.
Yeah.
I just felt bad. I didn't think it necessary to do it to Cardona because it felt like it's like he got really he got really trashed and then he got Pillmanized. So
he got caned off the ramp.
So I liked what they did. I just maybe wish they had to do it to somebody else instead of Cardona. But it makes sense because Cardona is really close to Cody, so therefore it's more of a shot toward Cody in the end. I thought the Danhausen bit with Candice and Johnny was funny, where he's just like, give me $20 human, and then just took it.
And just took it and walked away. She's like, aren't you supposed to? Whatever. Yeah, the Randy stuff, he's trying, but he's still Randy. And so the crowd's still going to love Randy. And
I think that's why they're doing it this way and that making him not be like, try to be like trashing the fans, where he's just like, he's giving into the voices and he can't control himself.
Right. But Cardona,
because if they try to force it like with the like a forced heel turn like they did with Cena more, it's going to fail even more. So this is the better route, where he's doing heel things, but the fans are still sympathetic because he's Randy. He's just giving. They understand that he's just the voices in his head. He's giving it to the voices.
Yeah.
And so
and then the stuff is surprisingly Cardona was on Cody's. Yeah, it's been terrible.
It has been absolutely awful, that build between Rhea and Jade. And I had a feeling that they were going to make BFAB and Beechin like her new lackeys. This gives us something to do, but doesn't make me more interested in the match. No. The best part of the build was on social media, and they're not even using that on TV.
No.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I wish Meechin wasn't a jobber, because me and Justin are big fans of Meechin, but
pretty much a guest star. It's like because he's going to be involved in media, so he's going to be on the. He's
pretty good there. Wait, much is.
I did appreciate the hilarity of the poetry thing. So
yeah.
The build toward looks like it's going to be a 4-way match for the tag team titles, women's tag team titles. Switching away, I think you could pencil in one more team besides the Bellas and Charlexa against
Bailey and Lyra.
Yep.
Probably.
I think that's where it's going.
Because I think with this, I think the Kabuki Warriors is not going to be a part of it. I think that is an Kyrie thing.
She's not going to be on the bench for long. It was on social media. I don't know if we can play it, but she put out a video on social media where she basically called out how Io was treating Kyrie and that she's going to do something about it. So I think we're getting what we were hoping for: Io versus Asuka for Kyrie's soul at WrestleMania.
Yeah, which is a banger waiting to happen.
Yep.
Speaking about bangers waiting to happen, tomorrow night would be Julia and Tiffy in a non-title match, which I'm not a big fan of those, but I think it's just previewing, which we're hoping, crossing our fingers, we get Julia and Tiffy for the United States Championship at WrestleMania.
I think that's what the rumored direction is, and I think that's where we're headed. I don't know if we'll get a clean finish there, but hey, if they get to work for a while and give it like a little taste of what they could do, I'm all for it.
Yeah. With that. All right. This tag division is it's just so
okay. Yes.
Laughable.
It's ridiculous that number one, it was ridiculous that the stupid feud between the MFT and the Wyatt Six held the tag titles hostage for so long. The only positive I can take about this is that it is out of that sphere now, and that hopefully we can get back to actual tag teams fighting over it. Now, I get why they put it on Damian and R-Truth, because they obviously don't have anything else for either one of them to do at this point. So hopefully they'll get to feud with one of the real tag teams left in the division. Hopefully the Street Profits will be back soon, and they'll have something, because they've been on the bench for a while, unfortunately. Outside of working some NXT house shows, probably just to keep themselves in ring shape until they have some kind of creative for them.
Right.
That's why I like the Fraxium and Motor City Machine Guns match.
Yeah.
That was nice to see. It feels like they're leading toward some kind of maybe new stable between the Motor City Machine Guns, Candice and Johnny, where maybe the Motor City
Johnny. You gotta do something with Johnny. Johnny's doing everything he can to get that bit over, but
I have a feeling that's where it's going, because Candice helped them win their match. So it definitely feels like it's building towards something between the four of them. So which, hey,
sure.
If it I like that, because Johnny's really close to those guys, so gets to work with some friends he still has there with Ciampa having left for AEW. So
Chelsea's hurt. So
Chelsea may not be cleared in time for WrestleMania. So
you might get your wish. Even though I don't mind anything involving Chelsea, I'm game for. But yes, I would rather have Julia and Tiffy go 1-on-1.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to shoehorn in there. She's kind of involved. I think they're doing that just in case she might be ready, but I prefer it just be Julia versus Tiffany 1-on-1, because that would be a better match.
Yes, even though Chelsea deserves her flowers and all of that, it's just the wrestling.
It would be nice if they could go back to unification, because it's like, I just don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately.
No. The Bella Twins just can't go anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Now, apparently their match was cut short, but still, that match drug, and it was short.
Yeah, I just hope that they're not going to win the belts at Mania, because I'm just going to roll my eyes. So.
Yeah.
My stealth hope is that Lyra and Bayley kind of steal the tag titles, but I'm not holding my breath.
The Kit Wilson slam poetry kind of people liked it, but to me it was just like it's a John Cena ripoff in a sense.
Hey, he's getting his heel hacked over somehow.
Yeah.
So
the belt.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2012, dude.
Yeah.
Like they're Nikki is good for what she is.
Mm-hmm.
Bree's not.
Actually, I thought Bree looked better than Nikki in this match.
Yeah, honestly. And then Bree's not that great. If you want to compare her to the other rosters that you have, because the female wrestlers that they have now in AEW and WWE, as far as like the top tiers, that is why. It's nothing against what the Bellas have done and everything that they've done in the past, but where you're talking about in-ring capabilities, they are like 20s.
No, it's all right. We understood what you meant, Kaden. I know autocorrect can be an ass.
So on that, the Matt Cardona, going back to it, he was on Cody's show, so that probably why they kind of hinted at that.
Yeah.
Just to kind of do, I think that was like kind of a here. Oh, and by the way, Matt Cardona is also going to be on Cody Rhodes's show and all of that. Obviously, him and Cody are like you were saying, are close friends. I just hate that they are burying Matt Cardona again. But
yeah, it
is what it is. You have to do something.
Hopefully he'll come back. I mean, it took time. We were all like, why is like Mello in limbo? Well, look at where he is now. So sometimes patience can pay off. So we just gotta hope.
Yeah, it was funny that we had the tag team titles match, and then you had a better tag team match after that match.
Yes,
with the actual tag team division.
Yeah, with War Machine Guns and Fraxium. So.
Yeah, because those guys can just go forever.
Yeah.
Problem is, Motor Machine Guns are not that great on the mic at all. They're very, very bland. But there's nothing against Motor City. I will never say anything bad about Motor City.
They're great in the ring, so that's all right.
They're in-ring stuff. And Fraxium. Woo! Fraxium. They were tag team of the year 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, on that. Any other? Oh, I mean, shout out to Jacob, and we talked about this earlier in the show. Just so you guys know, Drew and Jacob, this is exactly what that feud needed.
Yep.
So
it's definitely going to head to some kind of stipulation. The rumor is it might be Hell in a Cell.
Well, going back here, someone I want to get your comment correct. All right, I don't see it, but anyway, someone suggested a street fight between the two of them.
Yes,
so that would be a good step.
I think the street fight would be better. I think Hell in a Cell could still be awesome, but I think that'd be a little bit much, a little early. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. As far as Caden, this is only 4th Mania build. Okay. But yeah, gives this a crap grade so far. And GIF, C+. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some good, there's been some bad.
Yeah. On that. So, speaking about more WrestleMania builds, let's talk about...
Let's go to Raw.
Let's do it. On Raw, the show opened with Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. Paul said no one can beat Brock. Shouts out Dean Ambrose, but doesn't mention Roman and Cody for actually beating Brock. Anyway, Oba Femi comes out to another stare down, but this time no excuses, as Oba kept saying the whole time. Brock tries to F5 with a cool looking F5 shirt, but Oba gets the better of him again. So that's interesting. The Usos envision in a DQ when Jay uses the brass knucks. The LA Knight, did come out. If there's a backstage, there's a fan cam of him messing up, hopping over the daggone barricade and splatting on himself. But him still trying to talk sense into Jay and all of that. Becky and AJ Lee had a solid promo. Javon Evans defeated Waller. Hey, guess what, guys? Grayson Waller's really good in the ring. Seth Rollins got arrested for violating a restraining order against Paul Heyman, even though Paul Heyman never presented it. Don't worry about the legality of it. Just so you know that's how it works in the Raw world, in the WWE world. Bayley and Lyra defeated the Kabuki Warriors. Penta defeated Dom. Stephanie and Liv brawled before the match. And Finn's music hit and just stood at the top to distract Dom just enough to help Penta win. Io Sky needs something. Guess what? We got something. Obviously, we're heading towards her and Asuka looking like for, as we talked about before. And then to close out the show, CM Punk and Roman, along with Usos, close it out with Roman actually listening to Jay this time and attacking Punk, putting him through the table. Punk was laughing the whole time, saying off air, he's got them right where he wants them. So they rebounded, like we said before, from last week's it was a mess in a sense. Like they were trying, but it's just, I don't know. This week, we're getting a little bit more break bloodline glass in case of emergency, and that's what they're doing. And guess what? The bloodline works when it just works.
I just don't want a reunion because that would.
I don't want another reunion. I don't want another reunion. But what they're doing so far is working.
It's added a lot of intrigue. Because you could tell Jimmy wasn't happy with what was going on, and especially when Jay was telling Roman to go destroy Punk and smash him.
And he listened to Jay this time. That's the key ingredient to this whole different bloodline thing. Is Roman is actually listening to Jay, not the one be like, "Don't tell me what to do. I'm the tribal chief stuff." No, he listened to Jay.
But I think this is playing into Punk is playing mind games. And the fact that he was laughing after Roman put him through the announce table means that what he's doing is working. It's doing what he wants. He wants Roman to act like this.
Yeah.
Because he was laughing saying, I'm not the one who's got a problem.
Right.
So, and he knows what he's doing. He's purposely pushing all their buttons with what he's saying. And so it's true. And I think that's why the Usos are all pissed, because there's a lot of truth to what Punk is saying. He's not. It's like as he likes to say, "Tell me when I'm telling lies."
Yeah. Yep. It's interesting. Yeah. I enjoyed the build. Seth was at it this year, not so much. I like this build better just because I thought Seth was the fish out of water, odd man out.
Yeah, that ended up being like one of the best matches on WrestleMania last year, but it definitely felt like it was more about
Punk and Roman,
and Heyman caught in the middle, and kind of like Seth got thrown in, and then we found out why.
Yeah,
I like this build better. That's just me though.
Yeah, it's just because it's like, oh, Seth is like, hey, by the way, I'm still here, guys, and it's like, okay, but I really care more about the whole Roman Punk thing, which we're getting this year.
Yeah, the build's been okay. I think it's starting to kick into another gear with this brawl. It's showing that things are getting more personal between them, so I like that. Their build has definitely been a lot better than like Jade and Rhea has.
Rhea's trying, but she also doesn't care. She's trying, but she's doing what she has to do because it's her job, not because she's actually invested. Don't tell me she's invested, because
you can tell she's not exactly 100% invested. I think you can tell.
No, she's not really caring for it, but she'll do what she can. But yeah, going back, I got your Becky thing. Let me go back.
Yeah. We'll talk about that because her and AJ cooked this week.
Yeah. Yes. But the Stephanie Liv, we alluded to it just so you guys know. We talked about it. I kind of went through at the beginning of the show of why this build is disappointing me. Because remember that Jay Gunther build last year?
Mm-hmm.
You had this match since the Royal Rumble, and you're now 3 weeks away, and now you're making me care? That's not a good build.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. Like, if you're grading, you had this much time, 6-7 weeks, to build this match, and we're 3 weeks away, and finally we get something that makes me care. That's what Gunther and Jay did. By the time we got there, we were like, okay, Jay's winning it. Who cares? Can we just move on? And then Gunther taps, and it kind of buried Gunther. Obviously, I don't think this is going to happen, but it shouldn't take this long for me to care about a feud a build when you've had all this time. And you've had Stephanie face Raquel like 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
And vignettes and stuff. Fine. The whole thing of like her saying something like, I get what you're trying to do with her saying something in Spanish and then Liv getting teary-eyed and all the other crap. Like, I just haven't cared till now. That's the problem. But you can say what you want. As long as they make you care, then they did their job. It took a heck of a lot longer for me to get there. And I still have to grade it on that.
That's fair. I just hope that this continues to improve. I think it's going the right direction. Hopefully they don't screw it up.
Yeah. I like the fact that we're getting a Liv Stephanie match together, all together. Like, I'm not mad about that. I have to grade it like I see it. The build's it finally got to a point where I'm putting it
It took a while. It's starting to cook now.
Yes, it is.
It was kind of like at a low boil to start. Maybe a little too low for some people's taste, so I get it.
Right.
Build that has been working outside of Punk Roman for the most part is over Brock. That's been done great so far. I think next time Brock's going to get the upper hand so we're going to get a little back and forth here. But the fans are hot for this. It's been well done so far. So thumbs up for that.
When Brock cares, you get a star out of it.
Yep.
Also, Brock was on Spit and Chicklets. Obviously, we have our thoughts on Brock based off of the lawsuit and everything. But take that out of it. That was a really cool interview because he talked about his kids getting into hockey and like all the other stuff and him and like in sports and stuff. So, and Harley does any type of long form podcasts or interviews. So I do recommend, if you don't want to punch the screen looking at Brock because of his past discretions, that still was a pretty solid interview if you care.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that because Spit and Chicklets is a hockey podcast. So they primarily talked about hockey because his boys are into hockey. Obviously his daughter is big into track and field. I know that, but he actually lives in Canada now. And so he talks about youth hockey and all that.
He moved there a while ago. Yeah.
But I will say that. But this is why you can't, as much as it irks me of his alleged past discretions. This is why Brock works in wrestling, and it's hard to find another Brock Lesnar. Guess what? We got one in Obafemi. I swear to you, we got one in Obafemi. They found another Brock, which is it's hard to find one, and you got one in Oba. And I love the fact that Oba the whole time when he's staring at Brock, he's like, "You got no excuses now," because like there's no distractions, and Brock, it's just you did so much with so little. 2 weeks in a row. All it takes is just boom, Brock selling. That's all you needed. That's it. You've made a superstar. You've got kids as he's doing the strut. They were showing everybody like WrestleMania will have so many people doing the Oba strut. How hard is it, guys, to just strap the rocket on the guy when you know you got it? Brock knows. Brock's selling. Guess what?
Brock gets it.
I bet he's got some percentage in Obafemi merch because he just sold a shit ton of it.
No, I don't have much more to add to that. Circling back to Becky AJ, like Kate said here, Becky crushed it. Becky crushed it this week with that promo. Especially talking about how like her daughter is an AJ fan and now how that is driving her bonkers.
All right,
that was funny.
What was it? Paul brought up their daughter. AJ Lee brought up their daughter. Your mom's basement brought up their daughter. Like, okay, guys, we get it. They have a daughter.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. It's like I saw the geeks online were getting tired of Becky because they felt they were she was getting the Becky Hogan nickname, which was complete fucking bullshit. And so she was using some real life, stuff in her promo, which I thought was really nice, and why she's like can't stand AJ. I also like the seriousness and the intensity from AJ, especially taking the dig and about that, that Becky's daughter likes her more than her own mom. So then the crowd went ooh, so it's like it's working. So.
It is.
So I'm glad that match is made official. That should be fun. I didn't notice it, but apparently people are very keen and realized that LA Knight is dealing with an injury, and he confirmed it. He's got like a minor injury. That's why he hasn't been wrestling lately.
LA Knight is cold. Well, because he has that weird wrestler. It's not a wrestler's elbow, but a lot of wrestlers have it. I forget what it's called. Yeah,
and he's that's why he's not wrestling right now.
Yeah, because Moxley almost lost his elbow, or like they almost had like it got real bad.
Oh yeah, he got like a staph infection in it.
Yeah, he got like a staph infection and stuff. He almost lost his arm. I almost had to amputate it. Not his whole arm, but you get what I'm saying. On that. So Justin, it's about that time. Ready for our Danhausen video of the week?
What's up with the Danhausen?
What's up with the Danhausen? Well, obviously he had a segment with IShowSpeed on the show.
And then he cursed him.
And this is him now. This was online.
So if Danhausen beats you in this race, then he gets access to your YouTube. And if you beat Danhausen, then Danhausen will uncurse you. Let's race! Let's do it! Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
Look! Too easy! What? What the hell? I was wondering when you'd get here. Guess what, my friend? You owe me a password and you're still cursed.
And you're still cursed.
And he's shout out IShowSpeed. Okay. Dude took a badass spear from Bron, and he's on Raw
with the Danhausen.
And he's messing with the Danhausen, but he's going along with it. When you get celebrities and they get it and they don't think this is bullshit, I will always tip my cap to them.
This is funny stuff.
Yeah. It's like, obviously, guys, I told Justin this beforehand. WWE has put on it's 17 and some minutes, seconds long of every actual on the show Danhausen clip. it's working.
It's working,
and I'm enjoying every second of it.
Yep,
because it's the same shtick,
and
but it's different every time.
It's amazing how the turnaround from his debut to how over he is with the fans, where you can hear the fans in the arena chant "You are cursed" when he says it.
I mean, when he was like, "I show speed," and then he slaps him, Danhausen, actually on the show, and people were cheering, and he did the little, hand to the ear, and then when he did the "You are cursed," it's going to get to the point where he doesn't even say it.
Yep.
Which is just, hey, shout out to them. Obviously, he's moving a lot of merch, making a lot of monies.
Yep, making lots of human monies.
Making lots of human monies. Yeah, it's just he's one of those people that just like when someone sees Danhausen for the first time, I'm like, what is that? I was like, I don't know how to describe it. He's just awesome. Just go with it. I
also like that he's now getting into the very nice, very evil catchphrase.
Yep. He's doing all the fun stuff.
Yep. Danhausen is providing the entertainment as he's supposed to. I liked Bailey and Lara getting the win over the Kabuki Warriors, and so that they're heading toward getting involved in the women's tag title match at WrestleMania, which is good for them.
Yep.
Which fits because they were supposed to have the tag team title shot last year, but then we found out storyline wise that it was Becky was responsible for taking Becky out to take Bailey's place, and took her out on purpose. So it's appropriate that they're going to do what they wanted to do last year at Mania, was challenge for the tag title. So I like it.
Yeah. I've said this before.
Yeah. And like I said, that
needs to be wrestling a lot more.
Yeah, Grayson Waller. You forget that Grayson Waller is actually a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Really good. Yep. That was a fun match.
Yep.
Penta Dom served his purpose. Dom got fucked over by Finn, and
that's a WrestleMania match there.
Yep.
Like 7 years in the making, but still, we finally get it.
I want him to bring back the Demon and have him destroy Dirty Dom.
Yep. Pretty much there. The Usos obviously are led into a DQ, which starting the Jey Uso going heel, even though we tried to do that earlier before stuff, and then they kind of scrapped it, and now they're bringing it back. Whatever, we kind of talked about that with the CM Punk stuff, and Jimmy's just kind of left in the middle on that. Obviously, the rumor is that the Vision's going to win the tag team titles next week. They were supposed to win the tag team titles this week, but because they wanted the Usos at opening day, they wanted to have the tag titles, even though Jacob Fatu was there. So
it was Jey Uso and Jacob were at the Yankees-Giants game yesterday to kick off the season. Jey threw out the first pitch. So
gotcha. Okay. And Jameis Winston was interviewing them and was calling Jey Jimmy the whole time.
Yes, he was. I thought it was hilarious.
Hand up. I can understand why he got them.
He also pulled a Rock where he pulled it doesn't matter on Jey, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. What does wasn't Danhausen call him the Rock Dwayne Johnson? Or I forget exactly what he calls him. Oh no, like Rock the Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, like it's Rock the Dwayne Johnson or something like that. I forget what it is. Anyway, that just reminded me of that.
But like I said, I like that even though it wasn't a show, the video EO put out making it clear that she's tired of the way Asuka is treating Kairi and is going to do something about it. So that's what everyone was hoping for. Then they're going to, because Asuka and EO can have a banger WrestleMania match, and Kairi can finally tell Asuka to go fuck herself.
Yeah. All right. I'm not the one that came up with this idea. I think it was Santi Zap was the first person that I heard come up with this, and I agree with him. Either next week or the week after, one of those masked men will spear Seth Rollins and be Braun Breaker.
Yeah. I think JD from New York is one of the people I heard. I don't know if he was the first, but he's definitely said that. He's like, he's called that when Braun is cleared, he's going to pretend to be one of Seth's masked goons and attack him and spear him and reveal himself, which I think is the right way to go, because that'll be a cool reveal.
Yeah. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, we're going to be like, yeah, this card's fine outside of Jade and Rhea, basically at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way, if the vision, no pun intended, of WrestleMania, I can see where they're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
They got to stick the landing because right now there's been a lot of turbulence in this flight.
Yep.
But
Raw was definitely better than SmackDown.
Surprise, surprise. But like I was saying before we're got into Raw, the SmackDown was better this week than it was before. But still, honestly, after Brock and Oba, it was kind of paint by numbers to me. Even though I like the AJ Becky was the best promo that they've had. The Liv Stephanie stuff finally ramped some things up. Danhausen's Danhausen. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still just missing something.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. And this whole week, well, obviously we'll get into NXT, but just kind of previewing, going into our next one when we talk about AEW. This week of wrestling should be when we get the best wrestling throughout.
Yeah.
Because it's WrestleMania. And we're just not. And that's even counting AEW, which we'll get into right now.
Let's switch over.
On AEW Dynamite, Kenny Omega defeated Swerve Strickland, become the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. No, Kenny Omega holds on to his EVP status. Will Ospreay did a backstage promo saying he has a problem with anyone who is friends with Jon Moxley. Will said, if Pac is going to remain loyal to Jon, Ospreay will handle him personally. Ospreay talked about how his time at home has given him bonding time with his son. Ospreay said that Moxley, also too, Ospreay, it's also giving you time to let your neck heal. By the way, just a side note, but it's cool. I'm still glad you got to hang out with your son. Ospreay said that Moxley may have reasons why he snapped Will's neck in front of Ospreay's family, including his mom. Ospreay said he's going to alter Moxley's life like he did to Ospreay and pointed at the scar on his neck where he had neck surgery. Ospreay said he wants to face Moxley at Dynasty. The Death Riders defeated Skyflight in the 6-person mixed tag team match. After the match, Moxley said, it's not nice to say mean things about people on TV. Moxley said he knows Ospreay is upset, but for them, it's not even personal. Moxley said if you want a match at Dynasty, then you've got it. A graphic came up, making the match official. Mike Bailey squashed Rocky Romero. MJF came out to cut a promo, bragging about how he beat Hangman Page at his own game, and now he will never be AEW champion again. Kenny Omega came out. Omega said that he's not going to fall for MJF's bullshit. Omega said he's 100% now, and he probably is better than MJF, and the fans know it. Omega said that most important part is that MJF knows it too. Omega said, let's make this official and see who the better man is at Dynasty. MJF says, you're on. Omega wanted a handshake, but MJF said, as far as that is concerned, no handshake. MJF walked away. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage were interviewed by Renee Paquette, vowing to take out FTR at Dynasty and win the tag team titles. Cope said he'll end FTR's career. FTR and Stoke came out on the entrance ramp to respond. Dyke said CNC are nostalgia acts. The fans know it. Our boss knows it, and CNC knows it. They will take them out at the PvP or pay-per-view. The Dogs defeated Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. We got to figure out something. The Dogs are like nothing. The TNT champion Kyle Fletcher did a promo wondering why the family is working with MJF when they should be trying to take the AEW title instead. He brought in Takeshita. Kyle mentioned that Takeshita has issues with Okada, but Kyle and Takeshita are on the same page. Takeshita said that nothing can ever come between them, not even Okada. Takeshita said that Protoshita, thank you, came first, and they hugged. There's so many members, guys. I'm sorry. Thekla defeated Mina Shirakawa to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. In the main event, Darby Allin defeated Rush. After the match, Mark Davis of the Don Callis family walked out from behind Allin and gave Allin a pile driver on the floor. Other members of the Don Callis family went out to the ring as well, while Andrade was asking Don what they are doing. The announcers mentioned MJF wanted them to take out Allin. Lance Archer gave Darby a chokeslam. The show ended with Darby laid out to the mat. So I don't understand the whole. Why are you trying? I can't talk. I don't understand the ending. I don't understand the Andrade thing. I don't. Why? Why are we doing this?
I have a better question. Why the fuck wasn't Swerve versus Omega number one contender match the main event of this show?
I don't know. Just because,
It
they
should
want
have
to they want to have the promo between MJF and Kenny.
Yes, but they could have find a way to do that after the match. It's like because the main event match was entertaining. The opener was awesome between Kenny and Swerve. It was an awesome match, but that should have been the main event.
Yeah, no.
And after that, the rest of the show was a snooze fest for a while.
Yeah, the
we had a lot of beast matches. Speedball squashing Rock Romero. I don't care. Rocky Romero is one of the jobbers for the Don Callis family. I'm sorry, no offense to Rocky Romero, but he's a jobber.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the Don Callis family is loaded with jobbers who are meant to just to eat pins. Like the only people that have any kind of stature are Okada, Fletcher, and Takeshita. Everyone else is in jobber stats.
One of my favorite parts of the show,
which I hate to say about someone like Lance fucking Archer, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Christian Cage is the best part of that feud, by the way, with FTR. He is hilarious.
Christian continues to kill it by still being a heel while working with babyface Copeland.
Yeah,
and I love how Copeland's like, yeah, he is an asshole.
Yeah,
but he's his asshole. So
just honestly, just give me that those. What we're gonna have is a ladder match between FTR, the Young Bucks, and CNC, and I am just give me that yesterday. You don't have to build it; just say the match. Like this is the one time I won't get on Tony, but I'm on the build.
The Dogs feuding with the Conglomeration, don't care. Tekla versus Mina, that was a fine match, but knew Tekla was not going to lose. There's like no chance in hell. And I do like the build for Moxley versus Ospreay.
I do.
It's got weight behind it. I love the promo from Ospreay.
I hate that I dislike it for the fact that we still are doing the heel face Moxley stuff, but it is what it is at this point. And
they're definitely going to boo Moxley if he's against Ospreay. They're going to be siding with Ospreay in this situation. So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, it's not for the title, which is interesting. But honestly, Ospreay wouldn't care about the title. He just wants to beat the fuck out of his revenge. Yeah, he wants to hurt Moxley. He doesn't care about the title.
For once, like a non-title match makes sense based off of the story.
He doesn't need the Continental title. He needs to be the world champion. So.
Yeah. Where does Swerve Strickland go from here?
Good question. Because it makes sense for Kenny to face him at Dynasty because it's in Canada. It's in Vancouver. And that's Kenny's backyard, which is why CNC are fighting FTR for the tag titles because it's in Canada. Their backyard. So, and plus, the fans want to see it, and it's going to be awesome. And
this guy does. This guy right here.
Yeah, and the promo work there was great. That is a good question. What we're going to do with Swerve? That's a good question. We'll have to see.
The good news is the main event scene is still awesome.
Yes.
And it's Swerve Strickland who is still awesome. Yep. And so I'm not too worried about it.
And I'm kind of with Andrade. Like, what are you guys doing? Because Andrade isn't on board with this stuff. I like seeing these cracks in the Don Callis family, where like
even Kyle Fletcher this week. This is the
especially for Fletcher this week, where he's like, "Why are we working with MJF? We should be going after him and trying to take the fucking title."
Yep. And Fletcher and Scott Blue did a nice interview with Simon Miller at Wembley.
I saw that. It was nice
to promote Wembley back at AEW All In.
They're definitely setting up both Kyle and Takeshita going babyface and leaving the family.
Yeah. I will put a prediction out right now. Kyle Fletcher will definitely be top 5 wrestler of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw that prediction out.
Yeah,
I don't think a prediction. I think that's a spoiler on that part.
Oh, okay. You're gonna channel some Heyman there. Okay.
Yeah. Just because knock on wood, he doesn't get injured.
Right.
But the matches that he's been doing, and Giff knows what I'm talking about. He can back me up on this because we've talked, because he knows, he's put it on my radar. Fletcher's been the most consistent male wrestler
right
this year.
Absolutely.
And if he keeps on this track, he, to me, will be top 2 or number 1, depending on whose poll you look at. That is my spoiler alert. He's going to be top 5. Prediction, I think he might end up being top wrestler of the year. So, because you can't deny what Fletcher's doing. And I going back and seeing Fletcher early in his career to now, you can see it. And the fact that he has gotten to this point is just a cool story to see. And part of the reasons why we still come back and watch wrestling, even when they're lackluster shows. But these are the type of things that make me still want to tune in and watch AEW. These things, and like some of the things that still want me to tune in to watch WWE and NXT and all those stuff. Even TNA. Shout out to Mike Santana. I'm not going to watch ROH. So just take the Rascals and Athena off of it. Please.
Same thing with Deanna Purrazzo.
And also Billy Starks, just because she's a hometown girl of Louisville, I just want to see her on AEW main roster, even though your female roster is stacked as it is.
Yeah.
But Athena's leaps and bounds one of the best ones. Just put her on the main roster.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. What are we doing? But yeah.
So show started off good. Show had a good ending match. Not too excited about the closing angle, but a lot of the stuff in the middle was just like,
yeah, they're trying to get the dogs over. It's not working.
Yeah,
much less they lost.
But at least we're getting some banger matches set up for Dynasty already, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So yeah, this was again this whole. We'll get into NXT, but so far from Raw, SmackDown, and AEW Dynamite, this has been a very midweek when it comes to wrestling. Not to say it's bad, but coming off of Revolution and what Dynasty and Dynamite.
Yeah, I know it's like they should be much more on point after Revolution, which was a very good show, a very good pay-per-view. It's been a lot of disappointing stuff. So
yeah, it's not as consistent as it was leading into Revolution.
It's still got some time. I mean, Dynasty is not too far away. No. So
no, not at all. But let's end.
April's going to be a very busy month between Stand and Deliver, Mania, and Dynasty. So
yeah, April's always a big month. Always a huge month.
Speaking of Stand and Deliver,
yeah, you got February, April, and August are basically 3 big months in the wrestling world. But yes, Stand and Deliver. Let's do the thing.
Let's talk about the build stand. All right.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that all the time. I don't know what else to say after the music stops. But in NXT, Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray defeated Fatal Influence. After the match, Kendall Gray said that last week, Ren took the speed title from Fallon Henley. She tapped out Lainey Reed, and then at Stand Deliver, she will beat JC for the NXT Women's title. Lola Vice walked out and said she is going to beat JC and become NXT Women's Champion. Interim NXT GM Robert Stone came out and announced that Lola Vice will face Kendall Gray next week on NXT. The winner will face JC Jane for NXT Women's title at Stand and Deliver. So Ruckus came out to cut a promo on Zarya. She wants to face Zarya at Stand and Deliver, which brings out Zarya to respond. The two go back and forth. Sola asked what she ever got from Zarya, who is too insecure to stand beside her. Zarya said she isn't the villain in Soul's story because Soul is the mistake. Kalani Jordan defeated Thea Hale. Boo. She continued to hurt Thea Hale after the match until Jada Parker made the save. Tatum Paxley spoke to Shallow Hill, who claimed that got me. It's a good one. Just your yay. That got me. Tatum Paxley spoke to Shallow Hill, who claimed he found the location of Blake Monroe. Blake stole the North American title when she attacked Tatum last week. He handed her a sheet of paper with info on where Blake is. Johnny Gargano won a gauntlet match to become the #1 contender for the NXT North American Championship. He will face Miles Bourne at Stand and Deliver. Referee Adrian Butler informed Stone that none of the referees want to referee the Jasper Troy Keanu Carver match next week since they're out of control. So Stone said he'll try to figure it out. Jada Parker walked in to talk about her situation with Kalani Jordan, and Stone booked them in match for next week. OTM were interviewed by Sarah Schreiber. They said next week on NXT they are in a 6-man tag team match against Dark State. Price said that they had a partner, the TNA World Champion Mike Santana. Mike Santana appeared in a taped promo saying that this is MSG Theater and told them they paid to respect to Poppy's home.
Yes.
Santana said he'll see Dark State next week. Los Americanos defeated the Culling in an NXT Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament first-round match. Keanu Carver yelled at Robert Stone in his office. Carver said he didn't care that Stone was unable to find a referee. Josh Briggs walked in and suggested he can be the referee to the Carver-Jasper Troy match next week. Stone accepted the offer and made it official. A video was shown of Blake Monroe in the bathtub at a hotel with the North American title. Beside there was a knock on the door, and it was Tatum Paxley. The chain was on the door as Paxley held Blake by the hair, and Paxley said she would see Blake next week to get her title back. Main event, Tony D'Angelo defeated Ricky Saints by DQ, and Ethan attacked Tony. After the match, Paige and Ricky worked over Tony until the NXT champion Joe Hendry made the save. After he took them out, Joe got a hold of Tony and hit a standing ovation on Tony because Tony attacked him last week. The NXT interim GM Robert Stone was interviewed by Sarah Schreiber in his office. Stone announced that at NXT Stand Deliver, it's Joe Hendry defending the NXT title against Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, and Tony D'Angelo in a fatal four-way. Stone said there's going to be a contract signing in New York City next week on NXT, and the show came to an end. Sorry, I had to do my little Matthew Berry from What We Do in the Shadows as far as New York City. Yes, the card is cooking. Justin, say you.
Yes, I agree. I'm liking the build to Stand and Deliver. The card shaping up really nicely with one caveat, which I'll get to. And also, I will echo Caden here. I also love Little Vice, but it's Kendall Gray time. It's Gray Graps time. So Kendall should be I expect Kendall to win the match next week, and she's taking JC Jane down at Stand and Deliver, just like I have been hoping for months. So, yes, you have a thought?
Before we get into the good, because a lot of good, I just want to get this off. I just want to say the thing that I remember I told you last week, I'm loving how they're bringing up the new stars.
Yeah. Okay.
Why are we having Johnny Gargano and Los Americanos on Stand and Deliver? Well, we're trying to build these stars.
Los Americanos is non-Stand and Deliver. They're just in the tournament.
Okay.
I don't expect them to get the tag title shot, though. I don't expect them to win the tournament. They were a last-minute sub because Ilya LaFleur unfortunately got injured at a house show, just like in the same match that Lex King also got injured, who they mentioned was not cleared to wrestle. So that's why they wrote him and Eli Knight out of the match and subbed them in. So that was a last-minute sub.
Okay, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
you are at the point now where you had your guys go to main roster. We got the main event with the 4 guys. Awesome, great, booked it, done.
Now the Johnny stuff. Look, on the one hand, Johnny wrestling against Miles Bourne on paper is awesome. How they got there, I got problems with.
It's not the time either.
Yeah.
You want to build up other people. I know it's like Miles Bourne's going to get the win. We get that.
Yes.
Trying to build Miles Bourne on top of it. But your mid-card guys are really good right now.
Yeah. Like, why couldn't you let someone else have that? I mean, yes.
Sean Legacy.
Miles Bourne versus Johnny Wrestling going to be a great match? Yes, because it's Johnny fucking Wrestling Gargano that's involved in this match. But couldn't you give this to someone else? I mean, like, at least with the gauntlet, they were showing Shiloh Hill, they're definitely high on because he went through everybody else before he lost this gauntlet match. He took out everybody except Johnny Gargano. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they had him like run the table until Birthright beat the shit out of him and basically gave Johnny the win. So Candice all had to do was dump Johnny on top of poor Shiloh Hill, who had got the shit beat out of him and got the pin.
Yeah.
But one is I hope that this leads to Johnny getting out of this funk, is this match with Miles Bourne. Maybe this will help wake him up, this match against Miles Bourne. I just didn't like how this came about. I agree with you. I wish someone else was in that spot. On the other hand, the match is still going to rock. Yeah. So that's the one upside.
Yeah. You're giving Johnny at least back on just doing something. But yeah, it's basically what I was saying. Sorry.
Yeah, and Sean Legacy is hurt too, unfortunately.
Okay. All right.
Because originally, in the tag team title tournament to determine who's going to face Vandy Project for the titles at Stand and Deliver, originally it was going to be Legacy teaming up with Eli Knight, but then Legacy got injured in that triple threat or involving the speed title. And so they were subbing Ela Fleur. But then Ela Fleur got injured at the house show this weekend. And so they had to write both of them out of the match because they didn't want to try to find another last-minute partner for poor Eli Knight because both of the partners he had, one after the other, got fucking injured.
Can we just not have him named Eli Knight? It's too confusing. Drink every time. That's part of it. I had to make my quote of just like, that name.
I just feel bad for everybody involved. That's just some bad luck there.
Okay, that makes more sense. I did not know Sean Legacy was hurt. And Jackson's basically part of the Vanity Project. Like
Jackson Drake, he's part of the he's like the leader of the Vanity Project.
I know he's a leader, but technically I would think the Vanity Project, like the other two guys who I don't know their names. Tell me again.
I'll tell you though, both Jackson Drake also is his star potential is like off the charts.
That's what I'm saying. Like he would be a perfect.
He got to look great in this match too.
Yeah.
But the fact that Shiloh Hill was just like taking guys out left or right shows you what they think of him. So
yeah.
And like I said, he's starting to win me over. I like that he's become buddy with Tatum Paxley. He helped her out.
Yeah.
Last week, and then he helped her find out where Blake Monroe's hotel room was, so she could go after.
Like we said last week, it took a second, but they finally found what they need to do with Shiloh's character.
Yeah,
and it's working.
It's working. So I liked a little bit with Blake and Tatum. So we're gonna get a match for them at Stand and Deliver. It's not official yet, but that's definitely gonna happen. Like I said, everything that they've been doing, they've been focusing on Kendall. I think they're throwing the Lola just as like you could see Lola getting the title shot because of who she is, but it's Kendall's time. It's clear that they have been building this since she lost to JC at New Year's Evil. She has talked about it multiple times that she wants that rematch because she knows she can beat her because she got screwed at New Year's Evil by Fatal Influence out of the match, and she vacated the Evolve Championship undefeated so she can move to NXT full time in order to get this title match. So it's like Cade said, I love you, Lola Vice. You're awesome. It's Kendall Grace time. It's like,
and at Stand and Deliver, it'll be the last time we see,
because Lola's about ready to go to the main roster. So
that, and I think this will be the last time you see Fatal Influence on NXT at Stand and Deliver as well, because I think they will be going to the main roster because the Speed Championship is off of Fallon Henley. It's on Ren, and then
JC's already on the verge of losing the title. So
right now they might not pull the trigger on them going to the main roster, but them losing both titles would seem that way.
Glad you brought that up, Kaden. Wanted to bring that up as well. Thank you for reminding me. Did you notice how the NXT crowd was siding more with Zarya over Sol Ruckus in this promo face-off?
Yeah.
And I get it because you kind of can sympathize with what Zarya is saying.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like the NXT fans we're kind of like more siding with Zarya over Sol Ruckus, and she's the babyface. So
this was a great promo.
I thought this was some of their best verbal work. I really liked what they were doing, and it's like, the best part is you can see that the fans were invested in it because there was no what chance. When you don't hear what chance, that's always a good thing. That means that the crowd is paying attention to what they're saying, and that it's like they're listening.
Yeah, the last time the what chance actually worked is the Smackdown ago when Jacob confronted Drew and he just kept going with it.
Yep, he did. So
but the thing was he instead of blocking the what chance, he kept doing he actually went with it anyway. That just reminded me of that little 2 seconds there. Yeah. Okay, now I'm back. Yes, this is NXT knows how to do builds for non-title matches when it comes to women.
Yeah, like look at this one, and then Blake and Jada had a nice little feud that was not involved in the title. Now they got Jada moving to work with Kalani. Feels like it's a little more filler, but I have a better feeling that Jada's going to come on top of this one because she kind of needs that right now after losing to Blake. So I think this is more like a rebound feud that she's going to win over Kalani because I think Jada deserves a little bit more. I'm sorry, Kalani. I do like you. So Jada she's more over with the fans. So she definitely kind of needs a rebound feud win after what happened with Blake. So
who also needs a win? Thea Hale. What are you doing?
Yes. And also, I do love Thea's new look. I like her new hairstyle. I look great. I was just bummed that she lost to Kalani. So
I know they're behind her from obviously after her video and everything and how they're booking her. I just don't like the fact that they basically semi-squashed her.
Yeah, the fact that it's like Kalani beat her in like 3 minutes. It was almost a squash. It was weird.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like. It's like new hair, don't care, you're getting squashed. Like, come on, guys. You know what you have in Thea. I know she's young, but come on.
Oh, and starting next week, we can remove the interim title from Robert Stone's title because he put out a post on X just before, right around when the show started, announcing that HBK has made him the full-time NXT GM. And he thanked both HBK and William Regal because apparently, I guess Regal's endorsement helped seal the deal. So I think
whether or not that was a storyline thing or they were trying to see if they could find a bigger name, whatever. Shout out Robert Stone. Congratulations.
No, Robert Stone, I like his character work. I think he's going to make a fine GM. So I'm glad that the interim title is gone. He is now officially the new NXT GM. So,
I know it's a pipe dream. We could get it. Danhausen as a GM would take me back to like the Mick Foley during the Attitude Era. And I want that so bad because him as a GM would be so hilarious.
Maybe they'll let him be like a guest GM for a day. Maybe.
He's got to be something. I mean, they're having him everywhere anyway. Obviously,
I'm waiting for him to show up on NXT and start cursing people.
Yeah,
Would it be nice if he showed up and cursed Dark State?
It'd be very nice, very evil.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Dark State, I like that OTM went out and got fucking Mike Santana to team up with them against Dark State, which makes sense because Santana has history with Dark State because Dark State did a lot of fuckery over in TNA.
Dark State's been on Dark State seems to be on TNA as much as they're on NXT.
So, and plus it's in New York, his hometown. So I like that Santana's going to be on NXT next week. Mm-hmm. They're really shaping up this New York show next week, which is the go home show for Stand and Deliver, because you got Kendall Great Little Vice #1 contender match. You've got OTM and Mike Santana against Dark State. We've got Jada Parker versus Kalani Jordan. We're gonna have we're gonna determine who the #1 contender is for the tag titles. It's gonna be between Birthright and Los Americanos, I believe. And we're gonna have the contract signing. We're gonna have a big confrontation between Blake and Tatum, which is gonna set up their title match at Stand and Deliver. So next week's shaping up a big go home show before Stand and Deliver. So we got a couple matches set in stone. We all saw the Fatal 4-Way coming, boys and girls. Come on, I'm glad that Stone didn't waste any time and at the end of the show just made it official. Like, look, okay, it's a Fatal 4-Way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I said that you had 4 guys, then a big gap, and then the rest of the men's division. You can't deny the top 4 guys that you have.
No, these are the top 4 guys of the men's division right now. So it makes sense that at this point, plus with everything's going on, it also adds some intrigue. You know, like someone could take the title off of Joe Hendry and then he not get pinned.
Yeah, it's that Trick Williams situation from back when Ethan Page won it and it didn't even pin Trick. Yeah. But you have 4 guys that are finished products. Then you have the other men's division who they're still trying, they're still working out. Right. So that's the reason those guys are there.
So we got that. We have Miles Bourne versus Johnny Gargano for the North American title. JC's going to face either Kendall Gray, although it's going to be Kendall. We got the Soul Rukazara grudge match. That's probably going to be Soul Swan Song. I'm expecting Zarya needs to win. Zarya needs to win, and we can send Soul Ruka off to the main roster.
I just thought of something. Go ahead.
And the Venny Project is going to face the winner of Birthright versus Los Americanos next week.
It's going to be Birthright at that point. I'm wanting it to be Birthright because of what I just said at the beginning of our NXT breakdown.
Yeah.
On that. Now, going back to the Lola Kendall, they might Robert Stone, now that he is no longer the interim, so it's his show now. Follow me on this storyline, and you know where I'm getting ready to go with it as a possibility for Stand and Deliver. Fatal Influence is going to screw Kendall Gray because Lola's just come out and talk and says, "Hey, I want that." But the whole time, Kendall Gray and Ren have been feuding with Fatal Influence for a while now. Fatal Influence, because they have more beef with Kendall, will screw Kendall out of that, and then Robert Stone will say, "You screwed. However, there's no way to know. Triple threat. That's Stand and Deliver."
That's a possibility. I'm
overbooking it, but that is a possibility.
I'll be overbooking it as long as Kendall wins. I don't care.
Yeah,
I prefer Kendall JC 1-on-1, but your scenario is very possible. It could end up being a triple threat if Fatal Influence sticks their nose into the match.
Because what else are you going to do with Lola? Lola deserves to be on Stand and Deliver.
You know what? You actually have a good point. So as long as it leads to Kendall winning the title, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm not leaving that part out. Like, no, Kendall winning the thing is the goal here.
Caden's on board with that as well. It's like, yeah, as long as Kendall's involved and she's going to get the big win, that's all that matters. If it's a triple threat, that's fine because, like I said, I like Lola Vice a lot too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And then she's going to go to SmackDown with her boyfriend.
Yep, that's where she's going to go. She's going to go to SmackDown because her and Damian Priest are together. So
yeah,
they really could use it because unfortunately, you got two big holes over on SmackDown right now. Bianca's out, Jordan Grace is out. So
Chelsea's out.
And Chelsea's out. So you got three of the best women they got on SmackDown are on the shelf right now. So that's why they fucking moved Rhea over. It's like that said so much when they had Rhea face Jade and moved her over to SmackDown. It's because it's like they got some holes to fill. So that's why I feel like they should if they're gonna move Soul and Lil Vice are gonna be heading up the main roster after Stand and Deliver, send them both to SmackDown.
Yeah. Do you think Ethan or Ricky one goes to the main roster after this?
I think Ethan is probably going to go to the main roster first. I think Ricky might stick around in NXT for a little bit longer. I can see him maybe going up to the main roster a little bit later this year. But I think Ethan should go up to the main roster. They could use him. He's just fucking killing it right now.
There is another online video of Ethan.
Yeah, exactly. As long as Kendall is win the title, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. And yeah, Ethan, there was a backstage thing. Yeah, probably going to Smack. I mean, the thing is, SmackDown is just Raw is kind of stacked.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Ethan would go in there.
SmackDown could use a heel like Ethan, especially the mid card.
Yeah, especially the mid card. That he would be great with. He's already won the North American Championship and carry that thing. Might as well win the United States Championship.
I'm going after Mello for the United States title. Sign me up, please.
Right. Because there's a long form storytelling you can do because Ethan can do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Also, another Danhausen thing. I said Danhausen again. There's another thing online where Ethan Page is doing
he crashed his photo shoot,
and he was like, because him and Ethan are actually like real close friends.
Yes, they go way back.
Spoiler for those who don't know. There's a bunch of vlogs and stuff that Ethan put out of him and Danhausen of them going around doing stuff because they're big toy collectors. But he was just sitting there doing the stuff, and then he goes, because he calls him Egon, by the way. And he slaps him on the back. He goes, "Hey, Egon," and Ethan looks over, and goes, "No."
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
But yeah, but no, I think either Joe. I don't think Ethan's winning it. Long story short, they might pull the trigger and have Tony D win it, though. I think I'm leaning towards that.
Either Joe's going to keep it or Tony D's going to win it.
Yeah, I don't think Ricky's going to win it. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling it's either Tony D or...
I don't see Ethan or Ricky winning it. It's either Joe retains or I think Tony's going to take it.
Yeah, Tony's doing great work right now.
So that's for 5 matches. Tatum Blake is definitely going to be added. So we're looking at 6 really, really nice matches for Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
So
and Kendall and JC and possibly Lola starting off the show, and obviously the men ending it. He's going with Caden's going with Tony D, and Tony D deserves it. He's been putting in the work for how many years now? So as long as and they'll do a fatal 4-way, so Ethan will take the pin as long as is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's like someone else could get pinned and Joe could lose the title without getting pinned. It's like it could happen in a fatal 4-way. You know, it's like that's how Ethan won the title and took it from Trick. It's like he, I forget who he pinned. Was it Javon or somebody that he pinned? In that fatal 4-way.
Because Sean Spears pulled Trick out.
Yeah.
No. But they're finally doing something with Josh Briggs that I care about, and it's making him a special guest referee.
That adds an interesting thing to this. That's the other big match that next week is
Keanu
versus Jasper Troy. So yeah, it's like the go home show in New York next week is pretty stacked.
Madison Square Garden. That's why.
Yep. Do you think Sol and Zari need a stipulation?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think Caden mentioned maybe like last woman standing. I think that would be appropriate.
Yep, he did. That's exactly where my head was at. Last woman standing.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's for next week, right?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, no, it's like they're at Stand and Deliver, so we'll see maybe if they get they'll add a stip. We'll see if they add a stip to their match next week or not.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be a basic match, but
doesn't feel like it. It's like with the way this thing has been built for so long, and now it's gotten so personal. It feels like a stip is needed.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think about it. Technically a fatal 4-way is a stip, but like as far as like the crazy stips, like the hardcore stips, there's not multiple ones yet. So that's the only thing that I can think of. They would make a stip for would be Zari and Sol because it needs it. It deserves it. It deserves that type of thing. So. So say Josh Briggs. Hey, he got something.
Yeah, I go. And that was the point of the show. He kept trying to talk to Stone because he's like, give me something. I don't have anything to do. And then, it's like he volunteered to be the special guest referee because none of the regular referees want to deal with Keanu Carver or Jasper Troy.
No, not at all. All right. Anything else before we get to our Ren Wednesday?
Just that I for the most part, I think the build to Stand and Deliver has been pretty good, and I'm very excited for it. So we're getting a lot of matches that I'm excited for, and some new championship now, especially with it's like I want to see Kendall Gray win the big one because she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, she will. I hope it's at Stand and Deliver this time and not waiting 7 years like a Bron Breakker situation to finally give him the title. Because the thing is sometimes when you wait so long for them to get the title, at that point you just stop caring.
She's really over right now. It's like obviously she is. You can tell HBK sees a lot in her. I mean, why else would he have put her in this position since Deadline when she won the Iron Survivor? It's like I was just before that. I was like, this Kendall Gray is pretty fucking awesome. And then it's like then I was like, okay, yeah, no, HBK is high on her. It's like she's because she's been shot straight to the top ever since. So it's just a matter of time. And as much as I wanted her to win at New Year's Evil, after she lost, I was like, okay, let's wait until Stand and Deliver, and then you can crown her. Give it, it's like, it can be worth the wait. So
it can. All right.
Speaking of Rendell and the Ren QCC,
I haven't watched it, so hopefully there's not any music on here to get us copyrighted.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I don't know if you saw, but yesterday we got that W. And we're gonna
shout out to Nikita.
Yep.
That too, I guess. And we plan on continuing getting those W.
Oh gosh.
In Kansas. Oh, this weekend. In Kansas and
Oklahoma.
And of course, Texas.
Her hometown.
And obviously, Kendall is going to go to Madison Square Garden on Tuesday and kick Lola's butt and obviously take the title from JC.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So with all of these on-the-road appearances we have coming up, we thought maybe you should get to know the Rank
UCC. Of course we show up on time.
On time.
Yeah, like always on time, right?
Yeah.
Come on, still.
For the Rank UCC, of course we share our snacks. Of
Yeah, of course. Thank you, CC. Of course we tie each other's shoes.
An eternity later.
We're the rank QCC. Of course we finish each other's sentences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where were you?
Sentences. I was thinking about, MSG though. I get it.
We're the rank QCC. Of course we know. Is that what?
I'm gonna hurt it.
No. You know, actually,
Yeah. Get him. Okay.
All right. That was good. So yes, guys, that does it for
no, fuck him. Let's get him.
Yeah, F them. Let's go beat them up. So anyway, that does it for us, Justin. Always a pleasure, as always. Guess what, guys? We're gonna do it again next week, as per usual. 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern. Discord down below. It is free to join. Like, subscribe, ring the doorbell. It's always good. And Justin, as we end with mostly every episode, your Yankees are back. Opening day happened yesterday, when technically it was today. It doesn't matter what your game team was. The Reds lost. It sucks. But Justin won his game. How are you feeling about this season going into it?
I'm feeling optimistic. No Judge struggled last night. The rest of the lineup stepped up and got scored a lot of runs and not needing to do it with home runs. So, and Max Fried was lights out. So good start to the season.
Yeah, if Max Fried stays healthy, I like the Yankees' chances because I like Hero's rotation actually.
Yeah, and if Cole comes back at 100% from Tommy John, then we're going to be in good shape going into the playoffs.
It's just everyone's chasing the Dodgers, guys.
Everyone's chasing the Dodgers.
That lineup and that rotation is dumb. So, yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Caden.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, as always. And guys, we did it again. We will see you all next time. We're almost there, Justin. WrestleMania right around the corner. But guess what? We got Stand and Deliver.
Yes.
Dynasty. Also to go. Let's do that. Peace.